Welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, then I'm Emma.
And I'm Trev.
And this is Maggie. Sorry, and she wants to be having a cuddle, so I'm trying to cuddle and talk at the same time. So bear with us. And together,
we are the Wandering Wilkinsons.
So this vlog is all about food and drinks on the P&O Britannia, which we sailed on a month ago.
Yeah, it's about a month
ago.
Yeah.
So during our cruise, we sampled lots of food in the buffet, the main dining room, and the speciality restaurants. And we wanted to give you our honest review.
Yeah, our own opinion. So if you agree with us, fantastic, but it's our opinion.
If you don't, you don't. That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we're going to start by reviewing the speciality restaurants, and we're going to put it into sections in the vlog. You will understand later.
Yeah, as the vlog goes on, you'll understand. We're just trying to sort of like give you a heads up how it's going to work.
The first restaurant we visited was the Epicurean, and that was on our first night on the ship. So I pre-booked it.
Yep, it's cheaper to book it online first, because if I remember correctly, it was £28 to book before you board. But if you do actually go and book on the night or the day, it is £35 per person. Yes.
So on the day that we ate, we'd booked for Trev and I, and then the person with us then came with us as well. So we'd paid £28. We paid an additional £35 for him to join us, and they were very accommodating.
It was very simple. I went in, asked if we could add an extra person to our table. Yes, no problem. And just another upcharge to Adam.
You will see the footage of the location of the restaurant, a video inside, and the food we ate.
Yeah, and some pictures of the food. We didn't film a lot while we were eating because we're new to this and we didn't feel comfortable with it at that time.
And also we wanted to protect people's privacy because they paid extra to go to these restaurants as well. And we didn't want to be walking around with a camera when they paid extra.
Right, so the first one, obviously, we went to Epicurean. For me, it was a lovely setting. It's quite a romantic setting, really. I would say it's more for couples, but parties is fantastic as well. But it's a very, very posh looking restaurant, to say the least. But we were so lucky because we managed to get a window seat, or a window table, shall I say, really. And it was beautiful, looking out over the sea and having a fantastic meal.
So our top tip is to book the Epicurean towards the start of the cruise. There was only 9 other tables in there. It was half empty.
Yeah.
So at the end of the cruise, it was completely booked out.
I would suggest if you're going to do any of the speciality restaurants, book them for the first couple of days, because especially the first night, people are sort of getting used to the ship and stuff like that, and it seems to be empty on most of the restaurants. So it's a good one if you want to try any of them.
So, Trav, what did you think of the Epicurean?
Now, the Epicurean, I really enjoyed it. In fact, I loved it. You have proper silver service. We had a window table, which was fantastic. So you're just looking out over the sea while you're cruising along and eating some very, very nice food.
I had the cured salmon, the lamb belly and the creme brulee, and it was really tasty. It was so nice, and the salmons were actually cut at the table, so you had table service, which I really enjoyed. You felt special. You felt really looked after.
Yeah. I had the prawn cocktail, lobster cocktail, but to be honest, I was a bit envious of Emma's salmon.
He did try it. He kept saying to me, "Can I try that? Can I try that?"
Yeah, it was very nice. But then I had the steak, which was very nice too. And my dessert was a cheese board, because once you get to know me a lot more, I'll go for a cheese board over anything sweet.
I like sweet stuff. You can probably tell, but I love sweet stuff. So, Trav, what score would you give the Epicurean?
Well, I would give the Epicurean a 4.
Ooh.
Because it took an hour between our starter and our main. Well, I don't know, there must have been something wrong in the kitchen, but that was a long time to wait. And
we're not blaming the crew, because the crew were brilliant, weren't they? The people working in there were amazing.
Whatever it was, but unfortunately for us on that day, there was a delay.
And there wasn't many people in there, was there?
No.
I would give it a 4.5. I'm going to be in the middle. So I would say 4.5, giving it a grand total of
8.5.
9.5.
Oh yeah. No.
8.5.
8.5. You can't count. I was right. That's why I just agreed.
And we'll move on.
This is also deck 16 where the Epicurean is located. It's located very close to the stairs. I'll just pan you around so you can see. There's the lifts. Epicurean restaurant located on deck 16. But I'll just show you. See, it doesn't open until 6 p.m. So now we're going to review the Beach House.
The Beach House is also a speciality restaurant, and pre-booked this for the 6th of May because it was the companion with us birthday.
Yeah.
And we decided to take him there for his birthday meal because it had different food, Caribbean sort of, and he's
Beachy
quite
vibe.
adventurous, isn't he?
Yeah.
So we thought we'd try it. Trev, tell me, what do you think about the Beach House?
Right, for me, the Beach House was disappointing. There's a couple of factors to it. One is that it's part of the Horizon restaurant just cordoned off, which is, I explain later on in the video anyway. See, the food was okay. It wasn't anything really to write home about. And I was just overall disappointed because you had a placemat that said the Beach House and that was it. Not great.
I'm with Trev on that. It looks like it's a separate restaurant. So we were looking for a separate place and we were quite shocked when we walked in because you had to walk the entire length of the Horizon buffet. Now, that was a nightmare. It was a free-for-all. It was evening mealtime. There was people everywhere, food, there was children there. It was difficult to walk through and it's a long way to walk. I had to stop 4 times on the way because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't make it that far. And then you just get a placemat that says the Beach House. There's nothing hanging up. There's nothing that says the Beach House.
No,
nothing. Just a placemat. I know on other ships it is in a separate restaurant itself, but we're basing this on Britannia,
yeah,
and
on
I felt a
Britannia's
bit
one.
cheated. I felt a bit cheated.
Yeah, I agree. I feel cheated.
What do you think of the food?
The food, yeah, the pork chicharrones, they weren't nice. If I'm honest, it's greasy and it was mainly lots of fat with a tiny bit of pork stuck to it. That may be what it is, but I just didn't like it.
I had the Island Spice chicken wings because as you will get to know me, you will discover that I can't stand fruit and meat. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And lots of the items had pineapple with it, and I can't stand pineapple either, or other fruit, and it's just a no-no. It's just a no-no. So I ended up with the spiced chicken wings. They were deep fried. I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah.
I just want chicken wings as they are. I didn't quite get that. It's sort of, you'll see in the photos what I mean. It didn't look appealing and it didn't look like chicken wings. Then I had the fisherman's hanging kebab, which was an additional charge. It had a prawn, a bit of lobster tail, some octopus and snapper. The octopus piece was that small, they must have cut it with a laser beam. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I felt cheated because I paid an extra charge for it. I expected a bit more and then I just had a little bowl of rice.
For me, I had the salt block fillet steak, which was okay. But as the name said, salt block, and it was very, very salty. And as you'll see in the pictures, the meat, it comes on like a hot stone, so you can cook your meat. So you cut a piece off and just leave it on.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, like rare, it's not a problem for me, but other people. But you've got that option. You just cut a slice off, leave it on the rock for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and it's cooked.
For our puddings, you had the banana split and I had the golden dulce leche tart. It wasn't particularly nice.
No. And the banana split wasn't a banana split. What I would say is a banana split. It was a piece of banana on a plate.
Score the beach house.
I scored the beach house a 1. It was just too disappointing and I wouldn't use it again.
I score it a 1 too. I think you were cheated. It wasn't a different restaurant. I don't think the food was particularly very nice. Starters were already pre-prepared and sitting on the side. I wouldn't book it again on Britannia. I'd save my money and I'd go to another speciality restaurant, to be honest.
Definitely. If I was to go on Britannia again, which we will do because we plan to go back on Britannia at some point, I just wouldn't go to the beach house. I'd go to one of the other restaurants.
And you'll see why.
This part of the restaurant is still the Horizon, but it actually gets transformed into the beach house at the evening after 6 o'clock. This quarter down the back, so you have to go to the aft and in that way because you can't come in through the mid entrance. And then this is the entrance to see the Horizon restaurant, but also at night it will say up on there the beach house, and it is also where the Sunset Bar entrance is, which would be located there. As you can see, it's just a simple door into the Sunset Bar. There is toilets located and there are lifts nearby, which would be the aft section.
So the next one we went to was the Glass House. We visited the Glass House on a port day. So we were in Flam. Trev had been and done the railway in the morning, and you were back for half 11?
Yeah, about half 11.
So we decided to go for lunch. You can't pre-book the Glass House. You have to join a virtual queue. So when you get onto the ship, you have a My Holidays P&O Cruises. It's not an app. It's like
It's
a
just
web page.
It's a web page, but you can use it on board the ship at any point. It's like the onboard Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Doesn't give you actual internet access.
No.
It's just for that.
And you use it to join queues. So we joined the virtual queue, and within 10 minutes, it popped up and said, please come to the restaurant. We will hold your table for 10 to 15 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. Ample time to get there.
The Glass House itself is on level 7 of the ship.
Around the main atrium, and
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to correct them because it's going to bug me. Deck
Deck.
7, not level. Sorry.
Oh, you shit connoisseur.
Well, you know, I've become one with the ships now.
We started with tapas. There was 3 tapas dishes for £10.50. We couldn't choose what we're having, so I chose 3 and Trev chose 3.
Yeah. We are greedy little pigs.
We like food. I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to lie there. I love food.
No. So we had the patatas bravas, 2 scallops, 1 each, the lamb cutlets, the squid croquettes, and the potato omelette. What did you think, Trev?
Well, I thought they were all nice, but my favourite overall was the omelette, followed by the scallops.
Interesting. See, my favourite was the lamb cutlets. They were divine. And then they had some tomatoes on the side, covered in sort of pesto and olive oil.
Yeah.
Ooh, I could have ate the whole bowl of them. They were divine. We then moved on to the main meal and we had a private banquet for two. It consisted of gaucho beef,
which was nice.
Filet tornados, and
nice.
beef short ribs.
Which was also nice.
They were divine. That was, I have to say, that was my favourite meal on the whole ship. It was amazing. In total, it cost us £45, which I don't think is bad for two people for two courses.
What we had, I think it was fantastic for that price and the amount of food we did have, because they did come across and say, would you like dessert? By this point, I was ready to explode. So it's like, no. I had to go back to the cabin and have a siesta, shall we say.
We did sleep for quite a long time. We were so full.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. The atmosphere, because we sat right by a window seat. We were looking out over Flam.
And it was a lovely setting.
It was absolutely beautiful.
The staff, fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was quite a quick service as well, which was brilliant.
And we didn't feel rushed, did we?
Oh no, it wasn't rushed. It was just they brought your food out when quite quickly.
So what's good to give it, Trav? Out of 5.
Well, I'm going to give the Glass House a 5. It's not my favourite on board, but it's close.
Contentious.
But still a 5.
Oh, contentious, Mr. Wilkinson.
Yeah.
I would give it a 5. I'd give it a 6 if I could.
Overall, that is a big score of 10 out of 10. But we could turn it up to 11 because Emma wanted to give it a 6.
Because it was my favourite place to eat. It was so nice. It was tasty. It felt special. We were tucked away. It was really good, flavoursome food.
The Glass House.
I love it.
Fantastic. It was so indulgent.
Amazing. Amazing. Right, the last speciality restaurant we tried was Sindhu. We'd pre-booked Sindhu before we got onto the ship again, and we'd booked it for our last night on the ship because we wanted to make it a special night.
Yeah.
And Trevor's really looking forward to this, so hence the last night on the ship.
This one is the one I've been waiting for all week.
I have to say, the restaurants were really busy on the last night.
Yeah, so I would say if you're going to book Sindhu, definitely book it either your first night or the second night, because on the last night it was absolutely heaving.
Yeah, it was. Sindhu then, what did you think of the food, Trav?
Sindhu was my favourite, hands down my favourite. The food was amazing. Now, who has Indian food will probably agree with me. It can be a little bit heavy and makes you feel a bit bloated and maybe a little bit like afterwards. But Sindhu, I don't know what they did differently, but I had quite a lot and I didn't feel overfull or bloated or anything. It just was so tasty.
So we
really was.
Had the king prawn and the chicken tikka lamb skewer sort of
starter.
You had a bit of each, didn't you? We both had the same. What did you like? What did you think about it?
It was just amazing. It was so tasty and just yummy.
I would say it all tasted different too.
Like
each separate pot tasted completely different, didn't it?
Yeah.
And the lamb skewer was a bit warm.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. I mean, I not particularly one for real heavy spices, so it was a bit like, ooh, thank God we had some table water.
No, I have to tell you the truth here. We drunk our drinks and all the table water and still need a drink on top because it was very spicy.
It was very spicy.
For our mains, we had the coconut prawn. This was a signature dish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it gives you, it's a taster in a sense, a taster menu of the main things on the menu.
So we had the coconut prawn masala, the chicken tarawala curry and the lamb boona. And they brought out some sagaloon, we had some
rice,
dal, we had some naan breads, and it's all brought out with it.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Fantastic. I can't remember which one was really, really spicy.
I think that was the prawn or the lamb.
But again, even though it was hot, I still really, really enjoyed it. And I would eat it all over again, quite happily. I said, even when we were there, I would eat this again right now.
And they were really good because the waiter walked past and he said, oh, you haven't got much rice. And went off and just brought more pots without us even saying anything, asking. Just brought it and put it down. It was brilliant. It was really tasty. You'll see from the photos, it was yummy.
Yeah.
You had the banoffee apple pie.
Which was very nice.
And I had the chilled rice pudding. I love rice pudding. With mango and strawberries. You'll see from my glass, I actually started to eat it and then remember to take a photo. So when you look at it...
It's half gone.
Yeah, I love rice pudding.
I remembered to take the picture of my one before I started.
I couldn't wait. It was divine.
It was.
The atmosphere was really good because it is a separate restaurant. You are tucked away from everybody else, and it was quite dark, quite atmospheric, wasn't it?
Well lit enough to still see what you're doing, see what it's like to eat, but it was just that, that restaurant kind of level of darkness. It was brilliant.
So, what did we spend? We spent £20 prepaid to pre-book it.
Yeah.
And then in total we spent £23.95. So in total £43.95.
Worth every penny. Worth every penny, hands down. So, but I would hands down recommend going there. My score for this is 5+. It's through the roof for me.
10 out of 10.
Overall it is a 10 out of 10. And it would go higher if I had my way. It would be a 20. My favourite restaurant.
I would also give it a 5, but I just prefer the Glass House. But that's just me. I personally prefer the Glass House.
Right, we did before with the Glass House. I was a 5, but it wasn't my favourite because Sindhu is my favourite.
We're going to talk about the Limelight now. We booked the Limelight because the one and only Chesney Hawkes was playing. I was so excited. This was the one night I was truly looking forward to. So we'll talk about Chesney in another vlog. He is the one and only.
I have to just quickly say though, I wasn't looking forward to it because it was Chesney Hawkes, but I will stand highly corrected and he was brilliant.
I am the one and only. He's the one and only.
He is the one and only.
So we had pre-booked this because I was desperate to go and see him.
Yeah.
I wanted to feel like a little girl again.
Best to pre-book anything who has the main guest of the ship on before you get on board, really.
Yeah.
You'll struggle otherwise.
So this cost us £33.60 each before we got on the ship.
Yeah, you don't pay any extra for the food.
It's the food and the act are part of the £33.60 you pay each. And In total, we then spent a further £42.90. So £110.10 we spent in total. But we did have wine and cocktails and all sorts.
This was our one night off that we were going to just say, nah,
we're having it.
We're having it.
To be fair, we didn't have the alcohol-free package, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
So we paid for our alcoholic drinks separately. Right, what do you think of the meal, Mr. Wilkinson? You had the ham hock and I had the king oyster mushroom scallop.
Well, for me, it was okay. But I remember seeing yours come up and I was disappointed for you.
I know what a king oyster mushroom looks like. I had 3 chestnut mushrooms with a bit of splurge on. I was so disappointed. It just wasn't a king oyster mushroom scallop. I expected to see a king oyster mushroom and it wasn't there. They were chestnut mushrooms.
Yeah.
We then had fillet of beef. We both had the same, didn't we?
Yeah.
What did you think?
And that was really, really nice. I really did enjoy my main. And it was very tasty and it was quite a large portion as well, which was fantastic.
It was really warm when it came out still. It wasn't cold. The vegetables were really nice.
Yep.
It was really, really tasty. So we both enjoyed the fillet of beef, didn't we?
The main course was nice.
For the pudding, I chose the dark and white chocolate bomber and Trev had the pistachio katifi pastry with pine and fir tree syrup. What did you think?
Well, I'll say this. It was a vegan dish. There's nothing wrong against vegan dishes because I've had them before, but I found this one to be rather bland. And to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it.
I had the dark and white chocolate bomber, as I said, and it was a bit like a mousse with some chocolate on. But both have lots of cherries. It didn't taste the cherries. It was just red sauce. It was weird. It didn't taste the chocolate. I don't particularly like chocolate flavoured stuff. It's disgusting. So I wouldn't normally necessarily order that, but there was nothing else there that I fancied. And it didn't taste of chocolate. It didn't taste of anything, really. It was a bit tasteless. And you tried it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I said, just you try it and see if it's just me. And you agreed with me.
Yeah, it was just lacking in taste.
Didn't taste of anything.
It wasn't sweet.
No, it didn't taste even chocolate. It was weird.
So overall, food alone, just food based, I'm only going to give it a 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 3 as well, only because I really enjoyed the main course.
Yeah, the main course was nice.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, the actual setting, the whole place is fantastic. But on the food alone, I'm giving it a 3.
To be honest, we came out there and we were hungry.
Yeah.
We were, should we go to the buffet?
But then we had been drinking.
Disco.
So
yeah.
You know what it's like, you need a kebab, didn't you?
But we came out and found the silent disco, so we had a good time. And you'll see some videos of that in
a later vlog.
Oh, yeah. Right, so those are specialty restaurants. We're now going to talk to you a little bit about the buffet and the main dining rooms. On Britannia, there are 3 main dining rooms. There's the Oriental, the Peninsular and Meridian. If you book the Saver fare, you eat in the Oriental restaurant as the main dining room, and you are given a time to go and dine. We booked Freedom Dining, select fare, so we could choose any time we wanted to eat. We could choose from the Peninsula or the Meridian, and you had to join a virtual queue for this, didn't we?
Yeah, same again, very simple.
Same as a glass house.
Yeah, same as a glass house.
If you have a wheelchair, for all of the restaurants, before you pre-book them before you get onto the ship, or you join a virtual queue, button you click and it says, do you require a wheelchair seat? And they will remove one of the seats for you. You can also choose to sit on a table of your own, or sit with others. We always prefer to sit on our own.
Yeah, because
just for our own. And also, I can't cut up food very well. I'm being honest. I'm being very brave here by saying this.
Yeah.
And I don't like the fact that other people can see Trev doing that for me. We always like a table on our own, don't we?
Yeah.
But that's okay. And I'm being brave by saying that in this episode.
Yeah.
Very.
I'm proud of you.
I know. We ate in the Meridian on gala night.
And that was brilliant. It was black tie night, so it was very sort of like fancy and posh because you're all in your, your monkey suits. I like to call them because I hate wearing a suit. But so people in tuxedos and suits, and obviously the ladies in nice frocks or suits,
whatever you want.
Yeah.
We waited about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
In the virtual queue. I think there was like 29 people in front of us.
So
it took 20 minutes.
It was very quick.
It was really good. And the room is huge. It is massive. You can't believe how
far back it goes.
Yeah,
we thought it was
huge.
A smaller restaurant, but it's not.
It spans from one side of the ship to the other. Now, of course, these are included in your price you've paid. So you don't have any upcharges in these apart from any drinks you order, depending on the package you've chosen, which we'll talk about a bit later. We had gala evening in there.
Yeah, it was very nice. Mm-hmm. You felt a little bit special because it was kind of like silver service.
Yeah.
But very, very busy because obviously everyone goes there for this event. Because you either choose from the buffet, the Peninsular or the Meridian if you're on Freedom Dining, or the speciality restaurants. If you haven't been to the buffet or the speciality, lots of people were in those dining rooms, weren't they? I'd just like to mention as well, if you don't want to get dressed up on the gala nights, the Horizon restaurant doesn't enforce it for the dressing up.
Yeah.
But the other restaurants you have to wear your tux or whatever.
You see, you took your jacket off, didn't you? It was absolutely
as soon as I sat down, I took my jacket off because I don't.
It was hot in there, wasn't it? So, what did we think then of the food? To be fair, we didn't take photos because we were really close to all the tables. We were really sort of hemmed in, and we didn't want to get the camera out for the gala evening. I think the food is okay. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the experience, and it was a lovely evening that we had in there, and I'd quite happily do it again.
I do remember the pudding being quite disappointing. I had a cherry pudding and it didn't taste anything of cherries. And when we went up to the buffet the next day, it was in there. Yeah.
I had a cheese board again and it was okay. It wasn't the best cheese board I've had, but it was okay.
But it's included, and it's quite nice someone bringing the plate and the plate goes, you don't see it ever again.
But overall, I would eat there again quite happily and I would score this probably a 3 again.
Yeah. Same as me, so I go for 3. The Meridian or the Peninsula for an evening meal, we'd give it 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Now, we did eat there at lunchtime. We went on the day we were coming back down towards Southampton, didn't we?
Yeah. We chose to eat in there for lunch. Again, there's no upcharge for it, so you just join the queue and you go in.
We were really lucky. We sat us right by the window, didn't they?
Yeah, we were so lucky to get another window seat. Fantastic.
We both started with arancini balls.
Yeah.
They were really nice.
They were really nice.
Really crispy, really flavoursome. And you were a bit unsure and really liked them, didn't you?
Oh, God, yeah. But unfortunately, when the main come, I'd ordered a tuna baguette with chips. And I'm not joking you, it turned up with 4 chips. Now, they were big chips, but they were only about that big. And 4. Whereas Mrs. Wilkinson ordered...
I had a chicken burger.
You had a chicken burger with chips, and she had a plate full of chips.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know what was going on with the portion sizes. They've just gone, half a baguette, like the little ones you'd get from maybe Tesco or whatever, the little ones are about that. Half of one of those, that was only about that thick, with a smidgen of tuna and some sweet corn in it. And it was... disappointing.
Can you tell he's bitter?
Oh, God, yeah.
Can you tell he's bitter, viewers?
I'll tell you now, I was that hungry.
He's still moaning about it now.
When we come straight out of there, I went straight upstairs, right to the top deck, and went and got myself a burger, which is all included, which we'll tell you about later. But I was that hungry, I just went straight upstairs and said, I'm going to get a burger. He wasn't
in the best moods.
Yeah, definitely not.
So I had a chicken burger. It was nice, but I don't know, I didn't eat any of the bread. I felt the bread was a bit stale, so I ended up with some chips, which were quite cold, to be honest.
Oh yeah, at least you had chips.
Always bitter. So I ended up having just a chicken burger and leaving the rest. So we literally walked out of there and both went up to deck 16 to
the burger bar, basically,
Yeah,
which
we
is
did.
all included to your standard price of your cruise.
for lunchtime. I'd score it a 1.
Yeah, I'd score, to be honest, I'd score it a 0.
It wasn't great at all.
I was not impressed with it at all.
The Horizon Buffet is on deck 16 and it's huge. There's lots of repeated stations, isn't
Yeah,
there?
it's as wide as the ship.
Yeah.
And it's a mile long.
Huge.
You'll see from one of the videos that we've got.
You keep on
just keep
going.
on walking and walking and walking.
We had breakfast in there, we had lunch in there, and we had 2 evening meals in there. We didn't film in there because it was very busy and we didn't take any photos. It was so loud when I wanted to get out, I'm being honest.
Yeah. I personally didn't mind the buffet. It was absolutely manic up there. But you've got to choose your times as well.
Yeah.
Peak times, it's manic.
Well, for our first day really on the ship, we went for breakfast in the morning. Now, we made a huge mistake. We didn't realise the clocks had gone forward because on my watch on my phone, it said 9 o'clock. And on the ship tally, it said 10 o'clock. And so we were really confused. And being newbie cruisers,
Yeah.
we didn't live by the golden rule. You always go by the ship time.
Yeah.
Don't rely on your watch or your phone. We got there at 10 o'clock, didn't we?
Which was absolute chaos.
It was
and
pandemonium.
I mean, it was struggled to find a seat. Eventually found a table, but obviously we're miles from the food. And our companion, there was no way he was walking around with his walker to get there. And I had to go and queue in the end because there was a queue form to go and get your eggs, your bacon.
Yeah.
So I ended up basically putting a lot of food on one plate but carrying 3, and then I was getting some odd looks because people thought I was just filling my plate up.
You distributed it, didn't you?
Yeah, put a load of food on one plate, bring it back up to the table and share it out. But by that point, it also gone a little bit cold. So unfortunately, we had a very bad experience in there. I would try it again, definitely.
Now, the drinks, in the Horizon Buffet, you can get tea and coffee. That's not a part of any package. You can also get orange juice or a breakfast juice. That had completely gone. There was no juice left at all. I asked one of the people who worked there, could you fill it up? It never did get filled up. Breakfast was still going on for another half an hour. So it wasn't like it was at the end of the survey.
No, the juice runs out very quickly.
So don't rely on it.
Don't rely on that because all they will provide you with is tea and coffee and water.
We actually chose juice off our package, which we'll explain later.
Yeah.
Because there's waiters walking around and they will say, would you like a drink? So they sort of encourage you to use your package.
Yeah.
Fancying a little snack during the day, you can of course pop to the Horizon Buffet during the times it's open.
Yep.
But on the Lido deck, around the pools, there are little sort of takeaway, sort of grab and go, aren't there?
Yeah, so it's simple food. It's burger, fried chicken,
hot
dog and chips. And there's also a pizzeria, which is literally, there is pizzas out inside. You just go and help yourself to a slice of pizza or 2. There's no limit on how many you can have. And again, it's the same for the burgers. No upcharge for any of that. It's all included in your standard cruise price.
And what's quite nice is people can't grab and touch it. I quite like that because it's served to you. Whereas in the Horizon, lots of people weren't washing their hands and touching and... Ugh. Anyway, we will skirt over that bit. I think it was really handy on the days where you didn't really fancy your lunch, which we don't eat lunch an awful lot. We'd go and have a snack in the afternoon, wouldn't we?
Yeah, and occasionally I'd even nipped up and brought it back down
We
to
had it on
our
the balcony.
cabin. And had it on our balcony.
Yeah,
so
it's fine.
It's quite nice. Horizon shuts at 11, lunch spree.
Yeah, and that's open till 6 p.m.
Yeah, I think it opens 11 till 6. So when they open anyway.
Yeah.
So you can always get food pretty much all times of the day. So here you have the ice cream bar, as you can see. Lots and lots of different ice creams to have. As you can see, I think it's priced because I don't know if it's part of your package, because I haven't had any ice cream yet, if I'm honest. But the ice cream bar is located there, which is the opposite end. It's more towards the aft. So, as you can see, this is the Lido there. From before, you can see that you've got half undercover, half not. But this is the way you have to get to the horizon. So even if it's raining, you still keep nice and dry. This is all in part of your package. So that's the burgers and hot dogs and fried chicken. Again, another bar located in the middle. Look around, and that's the pizza place.
Right, we want to talk to you now about drinks. We tried to watch different vlogs about drinks. We were absolutely bamboozled before we booked as to what package to go for.
Yeah, so we went for an alcohol-free package.
So if you look on the card, Trav's going to try and bring it closer to the screen so you can see.
See, it says alcohol-free.
When you get your cruise card, it will say the package you've got on it. So we went for the alcohol-free package, which was £157.15 each for the week, which came to £314.30 for the two of us.
Yeah.
It is more expensive if you book it whilst you're on the ship. So we booked it before we went, because they do offer discounts, don't they? Like 10% off.
Yes, they do.
If you sort of do it pre-boarding.
Now for us, this drinks package was perfect because we do drink a lot of coffee, and I drink a lot of soft drinks, so does Emma. But also what it does mean is it's alcohol free. So any of the mocktails, as long as it's alcohol free, that's still included in your package.
And all the menus for all the cafes, the bars, everything around has a drinks menu, and it's very clearly indicated. Trav will add a little snippet in here to show you.
Yeah.
Won't you, Trav?
I will, yeah.
It says A, B, C, D, and it explains that A is it's the cheaper package. I think that was £14 something each. The next one is alcohol-free, and that includes all Costa coffees. So we used to like to go for coffee in the Java bar.
I will add a little snippet in here. But again, anything is included that's non-alcohol on that.
Yes. So we didn't hold back on the alcohol. In the afternoon, late afternoon, evening, we would have alcoholic drinks. We didn't go like crazy because we're not huge drinkers, but we did have quite a few.
Yeah.
So when you were ordering drinks, the people have little laptop things with them. You have to order one drink per card. So if Trevor got out somewhere, I had to keep his card because I couldn't order 2 drinks on my card.
No.
You can only order 1 drink at a time per person. Every single time you order a drink, if it's non-alcoholic or an alcoholic drink, they want your cruise card.
It's the only form of currency you use on the ship. If you do order an alcoholic drink, they will say it is chargeable, and it's just, yep, that's fine.
We'd left a card on our account before we got onto the ship. It was all charged onto our card, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you don't need to carry cash or that with you. In total, we spent £182.90 extra. So in total, with the drinks package and the alcohol we consumed, and we didn't hold back, in total it cost £497.20. If you want the alcohol package, that is £48.85 per person per day, which comes out for me and Trev at £683.90. Now, there are rules with this, which we realised on the ship. You are only allowed 15 alcoholic drinks, and that's it.
Per day.
Per day. Once you've had your 15, you've then got to start paying. And you have to wait 15 minutes between each drink ordered.
Yeah.
And lots of people were trying to order them, and the waiters were telling them,
They can't.
You need to wait for another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We saved £186.70 compared to if we'd bought the alcohol package compared to the alcohol-free package we had.
Which for us was quite a big saving. As we say, we're not very big drinkers, but we didn't, if I wanted a beer or Emma wanted a cider or whatever, we had it. And we've still saved ourselves nearly £200.
Yeah. If I was doing a cruise, lots of port days, I would choose the alcohol-free package.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think for us, the non-alcohol package was brilliant.
Yeah.
We definitely got our money's worth with the coffees, the
Yeah.
soft drinks, everything. So guys, in terms of mobility for all the restaurants on board Britannia, there is allocated seating for people with wheelchairs and other mobility.
So in the Horizon buffet, all the seats that are directly off the main walk path, the first row seats.
Yes, reserved or priority. Can't remember.
Something
but
like that.
You don't. Me and Emma both sat in them.
We sat in them because I needed to sit in them. I couldn't walk the distance. Nobody came and questioned us. I haven't got a wheelchair. I haven't got a walker. Nobody said anything to us at all. So please, guys, go and use them.
So this is all going on our first experience and what we would say for first-time cruisers.
So, all in all, I hope you've enjoyed our food and drinks vlog. We've really enjoyed it. We enjoyed eating it and we enjoyed drinking it.
Yeah, we've had a fantastic time doing this extra little bit as well. This is future Emma and Trev.